Hey everybody, Arie here, and in this video we're going to be discussing a brilliant idea that I came across for an e-commerce business, and I'm going to be sharing with you an example of a business that's valued at over $2 million in this exact space, and I'm also going to show you how you could create something similar in a really simple way. So if that sounds exciting, then stay till the end, and hopefully we can make this video really educational, but also kind of fun. I don't know why, I love doing these kinds of videos. I have fun doing it, and I always learn a lot, so I'm guessing some of you guys also learn a lot too. But let's not waste any time and get right into it. Of course, if you do enjoy this content though, make sure you subscribe for more. So the brand is called Som, and what they sell is restaurant quality Asian dishes that you can cook in under 20 minutes. So a very original Shopify store idea. I've never seen a store doing anything like this. And what I think is really cool is how this idea could be applicable to a lot of different markets. I mean, I know, for example, a lot of people watch this channel from India. There's a lot of Indian dishes that people absolutely love, but don't want to take the time to make. And that's exactly how this brand was born. So let me show you real quick just how much of a great opportunity this type of stuff is. So if we take a look at the search term on Google Trends, Asian dish, we can see that it's actually popping off. More and more people are looking into Asian dishes that they can cook, and that's a really good indicator of demand. So we do this basically in all of these types of videos. I try to validate these trends for you so that you can be confident that you're creating a business with a lot of demand. Obviously, it would suck to spend a ton of time, a ton of money on a business and then figure out later that nobody really cares about what you're selling. So what we'll first do here is break down their website design and branding, and then we'll look at their social media strategy. And then lastly, we'll take a look at their paid media. Those are kind of the three components that you need to build a successful e-commerce business. So that's what we're going to do. Now, their branding is super cool. It's really fun, and it just kind of reminds me of like a magazine of some sort, like a comic book even maybe. And what I saw is that what Som means, it's actually a Vietnamese phrase meaning noisy, rambunctious, riotous, and most often used by parents. And that is the vibe that this website is giving me. So they've done an amazing job of getting that rowdy feeling across while still keeping the brand really, really clean. So as you can see, they got a lot of different dishes here. So, you know, they're building up their arsenal for different dishes, which is a great idea. I mean, this is such a genius business model because you could just introduce new dishes. I mean, there's virtually a million dishes that you could launch. And, you know, obviously the hardest part here would be sourcing this stuff and creating it. But once you get that figured out with a manufacturer, then it's all about just doing it over and over again and figuring out a solid marketing strategy. Now, of course, these people are very smart and they decided, you know what? Let's create a subscription box out of this. Really clever, obviously. Subscriptions allow your business to have a monthly recurring revenue, which is amazing, and it adds a lot of value to your business. So their traffic distribution is looking extremely bullish. If we take a look here, I try to analyze this as if it was a stock chart, and if that's how we're gonna do it, then yeah, this brand is literally killing it. They're reaching nearly 100,000 monthly visitors, and even though they were founded in 2018, they've raised over $2.4 million from investors. So that's a really great thing. If you have an original idea, you can actually pitch investors to your business and get money that you can then utilize to grow the business. In a recent video, we actually covered a lot of different financing hacks that you can use, because obviously it does take money to start a business of this caliber. But the great thing is that there are tons of options out there to get capital, and these are things that I didn't really know much about until we covered it in a video. So you should check that out. I'll link it right here or something. And yeah, you should watch that if you're in a stage in your business where you need funding. But let's take a look at their best-selling set. So this is their best seller right here. A very simple product description. You know, again, this is what you see with a lot of these brands. It's very simple. They have some really great product imagery though, and I really love this GIF. So this is a really solid structure you could follow. It's like a very simple but well thought out explanation of your product with a GIF showing the product in use. And then in this case, they're giving some ideas of what you could pair this stuff with in terms of dishes. And then of course the reviews. So this website does look very customized, and I'm not gonna lie, to start something like this, it would require a lot of money. I mean, websites like this cost even upwards of $50,000 to $100,000 to get made. However, we have good old Shopify to help us out here. So let me show you something really cool. Shopify actually just launched a theme like not even a month ago that looks almost identical to this. It's called the Crave theme, and this is made specifically for food and drink catalogs. I mean, obviously, you don't have to use it for that, but if we preview this theme, we can see that it's almost identical to the other theme, and in fact, they're even sharing some of the product imagery from that brand on this theme. So Shopify is really killing it with these new themes they're dropping, and again, they're completely free, so you should definitely just start your Shopify store as soon as possible and getting familiar with their layout and whatnot. Luckily for you, I'm an official Shopify partner now, so you can use my link in the description to start a free trial, which is always nice to get a free trial, right? So the last thing I want to say about their website here is that if you're going to build a brand like this, I do think it's really important to provide a story. I think that's what makes this brand so unique, is that, not only do they have a really good market opportunity and a unique website, but also the founders are very much involved in the branding of the website. And not just the founders, but the whole team basically. So in the NFT world, this is what you would consider a fully doxed team right here. They're not shy about who's running this, right? And I think that makes the business so much more trustworthy. And, people buy from people. I saw that somewhere that, business to business or business to consumer is kind of irrelevant now because all businesses are just selling to people. So it's business to people. And guess what? People buy from people. So I think if you're willing to create a business and go on a limb, and become an entrepreneur, I definitely think you should be taking advantage of the fact that you are a person passionate about things and using that to your advantage to get more customers. Now, as far as their social media goes, their Instagram is doing real well, especially their reels. So this is what we've been talking a lot about in recent videos is Instagram reels are popping off. This is something I've been sharing about with my own brands and even with some of the businesses I've been working with. This is such a great way to get organic reach that you can utilize on basically all social media platforms, given that most platforms are now trying to adopt this TikTok format, this vertical style format of content. So make sure you're taking full advantage of that, especially if you're an up and coming business. But even if you are already an established business, this is stuff that's really going to help your brand get out there for free. So definitely do not neglect that. And then obviously on TikTok, they're kind of doing the same thing. But what I think they should be doing is actually posting most of these TikToks on their Instagram reels as well. Because what's cool is that on Instagram, you don't have to display your reels on your feed. So if you want to keep your feed really clean while still posting reels, you can do that. And I think when it comes to reels, it's kind of a numbers game, right? Like the more reels you're posting, the better. Of course, quality is always important, but as you see, they're posting a lot on TikTok, so they already have a lot of content that they could be reposting on other social media platforms. And then from that content, you can use that for your ads. So that's kind of the simple way that we use to blow up businesses, and it works for any brand. So that's why I really think that they should be using that more. But honestly, I really love this brand. I think it's so original. It's so clean and fun, and we don't really see that too much. I think a lot of brands are very cookie cutter nowadays, but this is something really cool. It feels like you're buying from a community of people. So now that we broke down their social media strategy and their branding, let's lastly take a look at their paid media, because this is really the secret to success for a lot of e-commerce brands that, when you're just starting, you don't really know about, but a lot of these brands are dumping a lot of money into ads, and that's how they're getting their names out there so fast. So basically, they're utilizing obviously the story format here. So let's take a look at this ad right here.
All right, we gotta talk about Awesome. Y'all have probably seen I use these starters for family dinners, holiday celebrations, quick meals, etc.
Okay, so this is a good style of ad right here, but right away, instead of saying, hey y'all, we gotta talk about Amsam, like I think that's a good headline and a good sound to use at the beginning, but they should have used like the finished product, for example, and then like, yo, we gotta talk about Amsam and like with the finished product in hand, and then have her talk about it more, because that's the most important thing is the first 3 seconds of your video. And if you're not hooking your audience in the first 3 seconds, chances are they're not gonna watch the rest of the video. So let's take a look. But this is a really good ad otherwise though, because they're educating their customer on how they can cook this awesome dish. And the cooking niche is huge, guys. Like people watch cooking videos all the time, and aside from the beginning of the video, this just looks like a regular old cooking video. And that's exactly what you want your ads to look like, not like ads. Let's take a look at this one.
Hi, we're Kim and Vanessa, Vietnamese American sisters and daughters of refugees.
Growing up, we never felt seen by the ethnic aisle in mainstream grocery stores, and so we left jobs in venture capital and consulting to start Omsom, a proud and loud Asian food brand. We partner with iconic Asian chefs to craft starters, which pack all the aromatics, spices, seasonings that you need for a specific Asian dish. The name of the company actually originates in the Vietnamese phrase for rowdy or rambunctious.
So this is a really great ad again because this one is explaining the story. I mean, you're getting to know the founders. It just feels real personal, and that's a really good idea for a brand like this. So I really like this one.
So follow us to come along on this journey as we... Hi, we're Kim and Vanessa Pham, two Vietnamese American sisters, and here's how we started a food brand called Omsom. We quit our jobs on a mission to reclaim and celebrate the multitudes within Asian flavors and stories. But unable to do that, we first needed to do customer research. We spent a summer surveying and interviewing over 500 folks to see how they plan for and cook Asian cuisine.
This is kind of a brief tutorial on how you could actually start a business like this from the founders. So let's see.
We actually went into people's homes to watch them cook. We then developed a small batch beta, which actually sold out within 2 weeks purely through word of mouth. So that's when we knew we were on something. We then fundraised a small round to really start the business. With 50% of our investors is either women or BIPOC folks. And that's when we really got started on the business. We partnered with kick-ass Asian chefs that we call tastemakers to develop our first line of products, and then launched actually in May 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. It's been a wild first year, so thanks for coming along for the ride. Onwards and upwards.
That's really cool. And lastly here, this ad is a really good idea of like turn these into this, but again, I feel like they could have used like an actual video. They could have done a transition where they show the product, like turn these, and then like boom into this, and then they show the finished result and it looks really yummy, because images just don't do it justice. And yeah, I mean, as you can see, they're running a ton of different ads, so we're not gonna go through each one here. This video would be like an hour long if we did that. So that's about it for this one. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something from it as always. And if you did learn something, then I want you to give this video a like. That's a great way to support the channel, and obviously start your Shopify store today. I'm gonna copy Nike on this one, but the #1 tip I can give you is really to just do it, just get started. And if you can, use our official Shopify partner link. That would be amazing. But with that said, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.